So some of you might have seen that video where I carved the flower and the petals, just quick carvings. I know I was super quick, but hopefully you guys understood what I was meaning to by depth, right? So now I got that wood spirit there, and I got the flower petals up there, and we got to put a finish on this piece. It's just too bright for me. I really don't like my carvings too bright. So I'm gonna put the camera in the overhead, and we'll get this, we'll get it wrapped up. So this is just kind of my style, how I do things. I got some sandpaper here, 240 grit, and I also got some 80 grit. If 240 grit's not enough, not aggressive enough, I'll use the 80 grit. So I'm just going to scuff it up. It's just kind of what I do. You know, you guys will come up with your own way that you do things. Right, so that's kind of, let's get the 80 grit out here, and that will be better. Make it quicker. So I try and make sure I get everyone a bit. And then we'll get this one down here too. Okay, so I'll get this done. And then we'll move on to the next part. Okay, you guys will see here, I got all the high points sanded. And same with this one down here. So, you know, when you put this acrylic paint on here, you're going to put a sealer on it, right? So where I sanded it, where you see the wood again, that's going to suck in the any kind of sealer or whatever you put on. It's going to suck in where it's wood color than the paint, because the paint's going to kind of block it. So it just works for me. So I got this brand new can of Polyshade, my favorite color, the Bombay Mahogany. So this is a poly and it's a shade at the same time. So it's like staining it and giving it a polyurethane protection at the same time. So I'm going to mix this up, open this can with my Carving Fusion paintbrush, hammer, screwdriver, can opener. I'm going to mix it up. You got to take your time really mixing this stuff up because the color sits in the bottom. And we'll start putting it on here. And, well, I don't know what else I can say. All right, so it's mixed up good enough. Yeah, I make a mess. So I just put this stuff on thick, because you got to get it in all the spots. Like you can see it all over here. It's just I completely waste it. This Polyshade, you can get it in all different sorts of colors, and this is for the new subscribers. Maybe you haven't seen me do something like this before, but I've done lots of, it's messy. You know, I should have gloves. I call them Dr. or Nurse Liz gloves, but I don't have any gloves here, so my hands are going to get, this stuff's going to get all over my hands. And then you do all the face, you can do it different colors of the Polyshade too. So I could do this face brown and this stuff mahogany, or Bombay Mahogany, or different. I'm just going to do everything on this. I'm going to even do that stuff there. I'll scoop up all this stuff. All right, so let's get some more of the face so you guys can see that. And you got to look at your piece, different angles, different lights, make sure you get everywhere. And I'm rushing this too, like I rushed carving these flower petals. But it's just to give you guys quick ideas, kind of, some people want to learn different types of finishes and stuff like that. But this Polyshade, you never ever see me use stain. I would much rather use this Polyshade than stain, but I guess some of you have your reason for using stains, but I just don't use it. I'd rather use this stuff. Okay, so I'll get this all done. Take my time and use this stuff up, and I'll be back. Okay, you guys can see here I got everything painted on. It's all mahogany poly shaded. So now what I'm going to do is go like this, flip it upside down for a few minutes, let it all drain out. Look at that. And just kind of wipe this stuff on the back to clean it up a bit. Make it not look so messy, but this is just a wall hanger, so it doesn't really matter. To me anyways. I've never had anybody say, oh, why is the back kind of like that? Well, because it goes against the wall and you don't see it, that's why. Okay, so let it drain out. We'll be back. Ugh. Okay, so it's been there draining for 2 or 3 minutes so it's all drained out. So now what I do is I get a rag and I kind of just go around and wipe it up. Now when you want to wipe these flowers, so you can see the blue coming through there, the more that you wipe them, the more that you get the paint color come back through. You see? So I don't really want it to be that bright blue, so I got my brush that I was using, and I'll just put some extra stuff back on there so it kind of darkens it up again. I don't want it to stick out like a sore thumb. So I'm just running around. This red maybe, yeah, because, well, look at it, it looks nice. So the more that you scrub it, even here, the more that you wipe it down, the more you'll get the wood color to come back. See, it's all going on here. Let's use a clean part. So see that there? You can even get your, Q-tip, and if there's a spot in there where it's really shiny, just dab it in there, but don't do it too much because the cotton stuff will stick in your carving. So that's about that. Then you'll get also, this is cottonwood bark, so you get little pieces breaking off like that, and that's why I got this here, the paintbrush, right? See what I mean? It's good to have gloves. So I'm going to let this dry for a bit. I'll come back and we'll finish it off. There's another part I usually do too to this. I sand the high points, but I don't think I'm going to do it in the video. Just show you so the flowers aren't so bright. This is dark too, right? And here's the blue one and the green. All right. Sorry, one more thing you can also do if like there's too much stuff sitting in a certain area, just get yourself a rag, a paintbrush, and kind of do it like this, and then just kind of get it in there. It will get lots of this stuff out. Okay, so since I fried my Dremel today, yeah, I ruined another Dremel. I'm going to let this sit overnight and dry properly, and I'll finish it tomorrow. See, you got your paintbrush. If that blue's too bright, just hit it with your paintbrush again, darken it up. That's why I always keep my paintbrushes around when I'm done this poly shade stuff. What's that in there? Get out of there. Also, for some of you beginning wood carving stuff like this, these rags, when you use these rags for like oil or whatever you do, it's not a good idea to leave them in your shop like curled up as a ball, because the chemicals in this finish can combust and start a fire. So when I got a rag like this and I've used it heavily and it's full of like wetter stuff, I put it outside, right, on the concrete, let it dry up a bit. It's just a safety hazard, and it's something so simple, but there's been lots of fires because of the chemicals combusting inside of your thing. I don't know if it's oil, but this kind of stuff, I don't know. Do your research. Google. Yeah. Okay, it's now the next day. Everything's dry. So when I look at this piece, it's a little bit too dark. It's a little bit too blah for me. So all I do again is get some fine grit sandpaper and sand the high points again. Alright, so like I say in my videos, most of my videos, this is just my opinion. This is the way I do things. I just kind of give it a nice slight scuff. Sometimes I'll pull out the flap sander and do this when the poly shade is wet, and it kind of blends it in a bit better. But we'll just do it this way this time. Because I don't know if I said I just blew up my one of my Dremels. So I'm not going to be flap sanding this one. But you see how it just brings out different colors? It's just what I like. You know, and I speak for myself, not everybody else. You guys can try it. You can do what you want. You know, you sand inside there to get the eyes a bit better, get some more of the details to pop. Okay, so I'll get this done and I'll be back. Alright, so there you go. So if you think your highs and low points, like lights and dark points, are too far off balance, not a big deal. Experiment. Spray it. It will darken everything up. And then that way you'll get a consistent coat over everything. Heavy hands. Darkens it all back up again. So while I'm waiting for that to dry, I got this on the beach the other day. Just carve a Rob hole in there. I can carve a wood spirit on here. Yep. Why? Because I can. Okay, everybody. So that's it. You can see how it went dark again after I sprayed it. So I think this piece is a little bit too dark. So I probably will sand the high points. You can see where I sanded it, that I sprayed it. It's a little bit lighter there. But I need it to be a little bit more lighter than that. So I said I was going to carve a wood spirit. So instead of carving one wood spirit, why don't you carve two? This is a piece of old first growth cedar I got on the beachcombing the other day. Actually, I filmed it. Where's the water? Let's give it a water test. See how dark this stuff goes. My question, do I like it before or after? Well, I kind of like it before the water test. So that means I'm not going to put a finish on it. You do not have to put finishes on your wood carvings, everybody. If it looks good, just carved the way it is, leave it. You don't have to put a finish on it. Carving Fusion. Over and out.